Now, if I have 30 seconds, can I talk about something, the newest feature in our solution?
100%, man. You got all the
Okay.
time in the world.
All right. Cool. So, you know, again, there's a lot of feature sets here, but this is going to be um, a game changer. Hopefully, the loads. There we go. So, what am I showing you here? In the past, within our solution, you've always been able to use triggers to, um, you know, trigger a PowerShell, VB, or command line script. And as the majority of you on the phone know, if I can create a script, I can rule the world with it. This is taking that to the next level because what we have here is the ability not only to run things within our software, but if I go over here and quickly just do create a workflow, what you see on the left hand side of the screen is integrations into other technologies, API calls. So we have, and this list is growing weekly about, other solutions that we're integrating with. For example, I'll use Dell here. I can look up Dell warranty information. That's not anything private. It's an open API that Dell has. Um, I can integrate into Microsoft Teams. I can integrate into OneDrive, Intune, you name it. So what I'm going to do here is show you something simple to explain something more complex. Okay. So what this is just a simple workflow that's going to query our database for any machine that has Roger in the name. So if you didn't know, I'm Roger, so it's going to look for one of my machines. And then I'm going to do the next thing, which is just open up Notepad. So what I'm going to do is bring my machine over here to the same screen, and I'm going to run that query. Now, I just, again, showing you something simple to explain something more complex. The only thing I did in my simple demo here was to look up a machine and run a command. Now, think about it from a different point of view. Let's say, for example, Shane is one of my employees. Shane just won the lottery, and now he's no longer going to be working with me.
I like this scenario. Keep going. Won the lottery.
And
Yeah.
I need to go through the process with HR to remove access because now he's a billionaire. He doesn't, he's not going to work with us anymore, but the business has to go on. So what you're seeing here is a list of a workflow to go in into enter ID, disable his account, reset his password, revoke his user sessions, and send an email to HR to, fill in the blank, to complete that actual workflow. None of this that I'm showing you here has anything to do with ControlUp, but it's showing the future of what we think as an IT organization is going to want to be able to do. It gives you the ability from a single pane of glass to manage, monitor, troubleshoot, remediate issues that a year ago, 10 years ago, there was not a single solution that can do as much as we can do here. And again, this has nothing to do with our software, but because we service IT departments, these are things customers have said they want. They want to be able to go and do this. Now, can you do this in other solutions? Yeah, I could probably name 4 or 5, but you have to go to 4 or 5 different programs, 4 or 5 different consoles to do what we're giving you. We're giving you the ability to do from a single pane of glass. Now, I'm going to stop sharing. Uh, Thank you for your time, guys. I left some time on the clock.
Don't stop now, man. That was all the cool stuff, man. Way to dangle the
Okay,
carrot.
right. This is a wet your whistle. I'm wetting the whistle.
Man,
So now
exciting
you
stuff.
can get in
Yeah.
touch with the choice team, or you can get in touch with ControlUp, and we can do a deeper dive into any of the things that I've shown you. And that was just the tip of the iceberg. Because I'm pretty sure you're looking at a screen and you saw on the left-hand side, all those different items in a navigational window. So today we kept it at a very, very high level. Okay.
Yep. No, I did. Raj does a phenomenal demo. Really, really nice job talking through kind of the key areas that, and really, I guess, painting a visual to what John was explaining as he talked through the digital employee experience, and also doing just a phenomenal job showing how far ControlUp has come. I mean, a lot of us, core EUC folks that are on the call here, VDI DAS was bread and butter for ControlUp, right? Being able to even remember when Remote DX came out, right? Just a plug-in, right, for that endpoint, and being able to, through the virtual channel, be able to get endpoint metrics, last mile metrics for unmanaged devices, which, by the way, for pure Citrix customers leveraging global app config service for managing CWA client on unmanaged devices or managed devices, it can now push out and manage the Remote DX plugin. So giving you true end-to-end for unmanaged devices, that's a big deal. But that's unmanaged, right? So when you get into the managed scenario, that's really where we see, ControlUp just has expanded with their ControlUp for Desktops platform. And then what you do, which is really nice, is you're kind of showing it basically the workflow capability. It's really just drawing, workflows to
Yes.
using all the capabilities that ControlUp has, right? You're able to call into the agent that's on the virtual desktop or the endpoint, right? And as you said, there's a lot of workflow tools. I mean, everyone's doing. I was in Zoom the other day, and I'm like, look at Zoom, me too over here with the workflow engine and doing all this stuff. I said, but at the end of the day, like, you want to be in the tool that has all your data, right? And
Yeah.
and I think what ControlUp has done a phenomenal job with over the years is community. Right. I mean, you look what ControlUp did with the script-based actions,
Mhm.
in the VDI DAS platform, in the ControlUp for control for desktops, or historically EdgeDX, right? And naturally, I gotta imagine, obviously, with the Slack growth over, was it 9,000 users or something like that, or some massive number of users, is taking that community and all the beautiful actions that were created and doing the same thing with those workflows. Because that's always the challenge with those tools, is like, hey, I got an engine to do a bunch of stuff, but now I got to go make all those things, right? And we didn't even touch on, ControlUp for AI and what ControlUp is doing there. I mean, there's just a lot of capabilities of where ControlUp is going. But that I really love that when I saw the workflow engine and heard what ControlUp was going in that direction, it's a really, really nice direction for ControlUp, and really can help consolidate some of
Now,
that stack.
a couple things here, Shane. One, I didn't go into the VDI side at all, as you just mentioned. Everything I showed you was, from the physical desktop side. But think about this. If you're looking at the screen here and you see all these different technologies, you have Citrix, you have Omnissa, you have, well, you have the iGel management console. You have, Citrix has its own management console. vCenter has its own management console. So especially for your level 1 or your level 2 technicians, when using ControlUp, your level 1 we're empowering that level 1 technician to be able to do more without having to learn all these different other technologies. You can go in and manage a physical desktop without having to learn another product. You go in and manage a virtual desktop without having to learn another product. Even when I showed you the API, excuse me, the workflow where we're just leveraging API commands, with that, I
This
don't
might
have
be helpful, Roger, with this visual here too, so.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So all these different technologies, you have a single pane of glass to show how you can manage those technologies. So we've been talking about the DEX, looking at it from a digital end user experience, but for the admin to do all this work, to be able to empower your lower level admins to be able to do more, that frees up your architects or your level 2 technicians to focus on other things. And not every time a ticket's open, that level 1 technician is just being a paper pusher. They open a ticket, oh, yeah, I can't do this, and push it on up the chain. This allows them to be able to do more without having to know every technology. Because if I'm an IGL admin, I don't want, my level 1 technician going into the IGL console or if I'm a the VMware admin or Nutanix, I don't want them open up Prism. I don't want them open up vCenter, but give them the power to do what they need to do from here and still get the job done. The workflow, everything that I showed you, there's an API command that you can do, but I have to know that API command. Look at my hand. I have fat fingers. I may fat finger something, and now I've messed things up. That is just a drag and drop. So again, being able to do more with less. Sorry for taking up all the time, John.
No, don't be sorry, man. It's phenomenal. A phenomenal job with the demo, and I said John and Roger for kind of helping to paint the picture and show the story. As Roger mentioned, we've a lot of years of experience with the platform and getting into all the bells and whistles, but it's really about kind of taking a step back, which we've realized with some larger enterprise accounts we've been working with, because it can become overwhelming when you see all this data come in. It's really about understanding how's the organization, how are they currently handling the service desk workflows today? How are they troubleshooting? What are the top challenges? And tuning that experience so it's the most optimal.